Welcome everybody around the world. Welcome to all my subscribers. Short little video for today. This is the third video where I've been looking at the county map for the election results because I want to raise awareness to the fact that when you look at the county map, which is simply more detail, it shows every individual county across America. When you look at that map, it's anybody can see it's like 95% red. And every day that goes by, it's more and more red. So it's like I've cataloged the last 3 days, and you go look at the map. The first little video I did from like 3 days ago, it's still like 90 something, probably 95% red. And then since then, you can see more and more red over the course of the three videos. This is the third one now. So today it's even more. I think it was North Dakota at the top is now red. It's been declared. So on the state map, it's red. When you go to the county map, it's obviously Trump won it because most of the counties are all red. So it still mystifies me because I haven't heard anybody, even when I spoke to some of my colleagues at work, and I said, oh, if you go to the county map, the problem is the site they were using, they couldn't see the county map. They had to click on each state to see it broken down by counties. So it's kind of misleading. And I told him, I said, well, if you can look at the county map like you can see on Fox, you can see all of America's red. There's only a few little blue spots. So to prove it, I said, hey, well, using the map that you have, go click on Illinois because Illinois is shown as solid blue, like Biden won it on the state map. On all state maps, pretty much show the same thing, right? So I said, click on that, right? So they clicked on it, and when it broke it down by county, they could see that it's like 90 something percent red or whatever. And only a few blue spots, and they're like, huh? And my two colleagues made a funny face, like, this doesn't make any sense. So it still doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know what figure to trust. Do you trust the county map or the state map? I think, using common sense, that obviously the county map is more detailed, broken down map. You can click on every county, see the result of every county, see if the polls are still going. Well, not, you know what I mean. If it's still being counted. I mean, a few days ago it was saying whether the poll was open or closed or what. But you get my point. It's far more detailed. The state map that I think everybody's looking at, I think is a more generalized map, and I think it's just an estimate. I think it's a forecast, which would explain why a lot of networks are showing 264 for Biden right now. But then I turn on NBC this morning. NBC hates Trump, but yet NBC said that Biden only had 253. So what I've learned, just applying common sense, is that these figures and these state maps that people, when I say figures, I mean like 264 for Biden and 214 for Trump. Those figures and the state maps that everybody's looking at on so many different websites, they're misleading because they're just projections and estimates and what it will be at the end of the day. But when you look at the map, the county map, it's got everything broken down. There's no generalization. So when you look at the county map, I think you see the true results of the election coming to life. And when you look at it, like you can see in the thumbnail for my video, I don't have the ability to turn the camera around and show the screen, but you can see it's like 90 something percent red. It's even more red than yesterday and the day before. This is absolutely bonkers. Looking at it right now, like I said before, it's like you're looking at, it's almost, now it looks like a slice of red watermelon, like bold red watermelon. That's what America looks like. And where the little tiny white watermelon seeds would be, they're like little blue specks. That's what it looks like right now. Or like a big bowl of strawberry ice cream with some blue sprinkles on it. That's what it looks like. The only places that are still white, which means the counting isn't finished, is still over in California and all those states on the western side. Right? Then you got one in the middle, which I think is Colorado offhand. I think it is. And then that's it. If you not one or two, but maybe like a dozen little white counties here and there that haven't been finished off yet. Most of those are in Illinois. Again, I don't know why they're showing it as solid blue like Biden won it. I'm looking at it right now and everything is red except for like 9 little blue counties. But other than those western states, other than Colorado, other than a few sparse little counties that need to be finished, most of them being in Illinois, The only other spaces on here are, I think that one's Pennsylvania. So Georgia, I mean, I know from my last stream that I did yesterday, Georgia and North Carolina were actually finished, because while I was doing the stream, the counting had been finished in all the counties for both of those states, right? They just hadn't updated the main state map yet. But now it's been updated. And when you look at, sorry, I'm in the county side. I wonder if it still shows it on the state map as uncounted, but when you go to the county map, it's been all counted. So yeah, just making sure that one's Pennsylvania. So yeah, Pennsylvania needs to be finished, and then ME up at the very top right, Michigan. I don't know what ME would be. Michigan? I don't think so. That would be MI, I thought. I don't know what ME would be, but the very top right, on the little branch that sticks out at the top. So that's where we're at now. And looking at the white spots that are left to be counted, like in Pennsylvania, going over Pennsylvania, I did this the other day, like everything's 70-80% for Trump. Everywhere you look, there's 3 counties already fully declared, fully counted solid red. There's none solid blue yet. And the vast majority, I would say well over 2/3 of the counties to be finished counting are pink. They're in favor of Trump. And the average in all these counties is like 70-80% or more for Trump. So he's going to get Pennsylvania. That's without a doubt. And up in ME, whatever that state is, we have 2 giant counties that have gone to Trump. And we have a bunch of pink ones. So it's not even like all Biden. Biden's got a fair bit, maybe 1/3 of that entire state is solid blue, but the rest has gone to Trump. And I went through the western states and Colorado in detail in the last video, so it's obviously changed a bit today, but I'm not going to go through all the counties again. It took forever. But again, looking at, well, let's take a look at California. California, still only 3 solid red for Trump and only 2 solid blue for Biden out of the 55 spots that they have there. I'm not saying counties, but 55 points you can get in the race. But there are a lot of counties that are light blue. I would say probably just over half, maybe 55%. It's under 2/3, but I would say probably over 50%, under 2/3 light blue, which means it's probably going to Biden. But not necessarily, because a bunch of these, like Inyo County, that's 49 to 49%. It's like off by 0.5%, right? So that could flip to anyone. Napa County is 73% for Biden, so it just depends where you go. California is a definite mix, that's for sure. So I would say it's not like Biden will go by a landslide per se in California. There's still a fair bit for Trump. And, you know, he's getting about 65-70% in these pink places for a good fair portion of them. So I would say probably Biden will probably get 2/3 of California. That's probably how that will go. When we go to Colorado, I would say just under half is light blue. And let's check out Trump. Trump is in the high 80s for a lot of the pink counties in Colorado. So Trump's got a strong following there. But I would say, you know, if Biden, well, California counts for a lot. It's got 55 points there, right? So if Biden takes 2/3 of that, he could get 30 something. Depending what the true number is. If he's not at 264, if it could be as low as 253, you know, if those are all projections, and we don't know what it truly is. And looking at this map, let's just be more reasonable and just knock it back to 250. That would be a reasonable low pitch for what Biden would have at this time, right? This is going for that. Trump, whatever. Let's just drop it down a few from 214 to 210 to be fair. So we're looking at 250 for Biden and 210 for Trump. Okay, I'm looking at a low ball scenario where we realistically might actually be right now. Okay, so let's do a little logical reasoning here. California. Visibly, I say 2/3 of it will go to Biden. So out of 55, what's 2/3? We'll get, if it says 60, that would be 40. So let's just say 35. Let's just say Biden gets 35 points from California. Trump gets 20. Now, I'll give Biden 40, and then Trump 15 from California, right? Let's just do that. That would bring Biden straight up into victory. If he's at 250 now, he'd be straight up into victory. That could spell disaster for Trump. So it wouldn't take much. And I think Biden will get that. I mean, to lowball it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Biden's got at least half of California. I don't know how all the breakdown works of the points and what county goes where. Just roughly speaking, if he gets half of 55, he's got enough to win, even lowballing it at 250. So, but maybe by looking at this county map, it being so solid red, maybe those numbers up at the top, the projection that all the news networks are running, maybe they really are highballing it. So maybe 250 is too high. I mean, you would like to think, looking at the map here, if California's got the biggest chunk of points, 55, most of the other states have like 3, 5, or 10, right? So California's a big chunk. It's not finished counting yet at all. So, excuse me. It's not done yet, so, apologize. Where would all those votes come from? If you need 270, so if Biden is at 250, like my previous lowball, right? If he's at 250, then 55 is 1/5 of that. It's more than 1/5, right? But basically speaking. The scary thing is on the right side of all these maps, you see Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, DE, Delaware, MD, not sure what that is, DC. When you add up all those, it's like 50 something, right? You got 7, that's 18, 22, 29, 39, 43, 47, 50. Hold on. 7, 18, 22, 29, 39. Yeah, 43, 46. Okay, 46, 56, 59. That's more like it. Biden won all of those. Those are like little states up in the top corner. And they always put on the side of the map in a little legend. That's 59 right there. Biden's got them, supposedly. I could go click on each of them and scroll in, but I do know that a lot of them are pretty solid blue. So giving Biden that much, I mean, Biden definitely has, I would say, at least 50. No, I'll give Biden all the 59 there, right? And for the sake of ease of numbers, let's just say 60. So over in the northeast of America, Biden's got 60. The northeastern corner, let's just say he's got 60 points from there. Looking at the map right now, it's almost all red. The other places where Biden would be getting points would be in California, like I said. I think Biden will probably get 2/3 of California, so I think he could get up to 40 points from there alone. The 40 points, plus that 60, you're looking at 100 definitely, just from those two zones. Northeast, top right, California, bottom left. Okay, just from those two alone, that's 100. That's a pretty powerful swing when it comes to the race there, right? Those are the hot spots. So what I have to do now is go identify these. So what other areas are really going blue? This state here is probably 50% blue, but that says a lot because the rest of America is about 95% red. New Mexico, apparently. Is that New Mexico? Yes. New Mexico is about 50% blue, so it's possible that Biden's going to get a lot of his points from New Mexico, right? So New Mexico is only worth 5 points, though. So if Biden gets half of that, however it really works, I don't know. Let's just put Biden up to about 102, 103, right? Let's go back to the states. And then we have Arizona, which is worth 11 points. It's not finished counting yet. However, Biden has a few pretty big counties in here. Coso, Nino, whatever, I don't know. And Apache country, I can say that one. Pima County and Santa Cruz. You know, these are probably highly populated. They're quite large counties. They're solid blue. And he's got one other light blue county here, Maricopa, where he's just scraping by Trump. But the other ones are all pink for Trump or solid red for Trump. So I'm going to say probably half Arizona will go to Biden there as well, right? So this is go more in Biden Biden's favor. Let's give him 6 out of the 11 points for that. So we're at about 108 points. I would say is pretty much guaranteed for Biden there. So let's go look at another Biden hotspot. That would be, yes, this state over here. What is this one here? Texas has a few decent sized chunks. Let's do a little calculation for Texas. Texas is worth 38. 38, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm not getting all the way up and going to the kitchen just to do that. So, if Texas is worth 38, let's go work this out here. Let's go look at the counties. Without a doubt, Texas is at least 85% solid red. But the chunks that are blue, they're fairly decent size, but still, it's, you know. But because they're large counties, they could have high populations. We have Culberson County, which is quite large, Presidio County, which is quite large, and a fair number of mediocre-sized ones down towards the bottom of Texas. So I would say if he's probably going to get about 1/6, being more generous to Biden, being that he'll get 1/6 of the 38. So what's 38 divided by 6? I know 6 5s are 30. 6. Let's just say 6, right? So 6 6s are 36. Yeah, close enough. Okay, so let's give Biden 6 there. So that'll bump him up to 114. And his other hotspot, let's go look up this one here. St. Louis County, Lake County. What state is this in? MN, that's Minnesota. So Minnesota is majority red. Again, probably 85%. It's probably over 75. Probably 75, 85% solid red. But Biden has some big counties. The largest counties up there, which are Lake County. I'm just saying large in terms of size. I don't know what the populations are. Cook County. So let's give Biden, again, probably 1/5 or 1/6 of that. So it's only worth 10, Minnesota. So let's give Biden 1 or 2, right? 2 is too much, so I'd say 1. So that brings him up to 115. So he's got 115. Let's go back to the counties. I don't want to spend too much longer doing this. His other hotspots, there's not many other hotspots, I can say that much. In a lot of the other states, you could count by eye the number of confirmed blue areas. I mean counties, sorry. There are that few. I mean, I'm looking at one big state here. Which state is this? To call my bluff. MT. Montana? Anyway, it's MT at the top of America. Big state, vast majority, solid red. A lot of counties. You've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 counties are blue for Biden. And he just scraped by with 51% there, 64 in another, 61 in another, 55, 52, 52, and 51. So he just really scraped by in MT, whatever that is, Montana maybe. So that's what I mean as an example. Like most of the states, there's so few blue counties that you could look at it by eye. But let's go over to where Biden's got more of a hot spot. That would be the following states over here. I mean, he's got a decent little number in Florida, maybe between 25 and 30%, 33% of the counties there. Let's get Florida out of the way. Oops. So I'll give Biden 1/3 of the points for Florida. So how many points would he get there? Florida is worth 29. Wow. Okay, that's why Florida is such a contender there. And it looks like New York up at the top too. That's with 29. So anyways, Florida's got 29. They've declared it as red overall, but like I said, I don't trust the state map. So if Biden's going to be generous, 1/3 of 29, let's just say he gets 10. That's being extra generous. So Biden's up to 125. I would say Biden definitely will genuinely have 125. Now let's look at the hot spots for Biden. There's a number of states here. I would say they're all in a chain. starting from the East Coast, sweeping down towards Texas and above Florida. So let's go back to the state map and see which ones they are. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, I think, AL, and then MS. MS, Minnesota, I don't know. So let's go look at them. Let's look at North Carolina. North Carolina's it's fully counted. It's well over half red. I don't know if I could say it's 3/4 red, so let's go for around 2/3. So Biden's got about 1/3 there. One sec. Ah, there it is. So if Biden's got 1/3 in North Carolina, I think North Carolina was worth 20 something points. Let's go take a look. 15. So we'll give Biden 5. So Biden's up to 130. And then I'll do them all together now. For the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states along that chain, they're all roughly the same ratio of red to blue. So the blue's never reaching 50%. It's about the same, between 25 and 33% on average between them all. So let's go check out the numbers and hammer those out all at once with the state map. So South Carolina, Biden will get 1/3 of that. That's 3. So were we up to 125? That would be 128 if I'm right. The 1/3 of 16, we'll just give them 5 for that one. They've been generous so far. What was I up to? I gotta keep track here. So 128 plus 5, 133. Then we get to Alabama. He gets 3 out of the 9. That's 136. Yes, 128 plus 5, 133 plus 3, 136. And then MS, Minnesota or whatever, he'll get 2 out of, that's 1/3 of the 6 points for MS. So we're up to 138 if I'm keeping track of my count. So I can definitely say Biden will get 138. I'm not going to bother counting Trump afterwards, right? Just Biden here. Those are all the hot spots. You could also say above North Carolina. Which state is that? He's got a decent chunk there. VA. What's VA? Virginia? VA is worth 13 points. Again, Biden this time is less. I would say this is probably definitely 25% at the most of the counties he's got there. So the most I'll give him for that one is 25% of 13. If it's just say 12, 25% would be 3. So give Biden 3 points for that. We are at 138, I think, last. So plus 3 is 141, unless I've forgotten something. So maybe I forgot a number, but 141. It's not going to be off by that much. 141 for Biden. Let's go. I'm at the states here. Let's go back to the counties. So where else would Biden be getting these points from? Like, to get the 250? Like, I just don't understand. Like, these random little blue dots over the place. But that's where it gets to. Like, if looking at the county map, so much of it is solid red, and there's so few little blue spots. If Biden does win the 270 points in the election, then obviously common sense tells you that all of those little blue spots just happen to be the most highly populated places. You know what I mean? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's logically true. Which would lend one to consider and wonder why and what are the odds that all these super highly populated areas happen to go solid blue and not all the rest of America, like the other 95% of America or whatever that went solid red. Those just happen to be, very sparsely populated. But all the highly populated areas have suddenly gone blue. You have reason to question, what are the odds of that? You know what I mean? It would really make you stop and think. So maybe I've stumbled on something interesting here, if you catch my drift, but I can see Biden getting 140, whatever it was, points. I can't remember anymore. 141. But in terms of getting 270, he would have to get another 130 You know what I mean? And he got those 140 from California, which has 55 points overall. From all those northeastern states all up in that cluster, which gives you 59 points overall. And I went through all the biggest blue hotspots for Biden just now, and I get about 141. Yes, obviously he'll be getting more from the little blue dots decked around here and there. How much, I don't know, because I don't know how it all breaks down for each county, right? I don't think each county counts as a point. I could be wrong, but I don't think so, because there's, for example, here's one state that's got tons of counties, and I know that thing does not have like 30 to 50 points. Tennessee, no, it's got 11, so you don't get a point for each county. So I don't know how they break it all down, how they work it out, but I think just like how you have those there's people that memorize cards and they're, get kicked out of casinos, card memorizers. I just having a brain fart. I can't think of what it's called. Card counters. There you go. You could have people like card counters, but are just, they can plot. Okay, which place. Just imagine this, man. Like, this is just a hypothetical situation. I'm not saying this is what's happening. I'm not trying to make a conspiracy. It's just hypothetical situation, right? If somebody was nefarious and they had good mathematical skills, right? And political knowledge, they could easily identify the most highly populated little cities, here, there, and everywhere, right? Most highly populated areas. And what if, in this hypothetical situation, you could guarantee the win for your party by just knowing, okay, we just have to deposit. You could even calculate, like an actuary, how many extra votes do you think would be necessary to just tip the scales enough to win those locations, right? You could pre-calculate, predetermine, premeditate everything, and you could just say, okay, on this day we go drop off 20,000 ballots over there, right, signed for Biden, for example, right? At these 50 cities over here, we're going to go drop off 100,000, 10,000 per city, they're going to go drop off. And you could do that. Hypothetically, it's logical. You could do that, and you could premeditate it, have all these things dropped off, ready to just tip the scale. Because, if you could tip the scale in these hot spots, highly densely populated areas, you would win the majority of the 270. You know what I mean, right? You would get your 270. It's not impossible that somebody could calculate that. Somebody very desperate, right? We know there's a lot of people who've been desperate for 4 years. I think it's entirely humanly possible to do that. It doesn't take much to go look at population lists, see which places have the most highly populated places, cities, towns, or whatever. It really wouldn't take much to do that. Anyways, that's all I need to talk about for today. Really, America looks solid red. I don't see how Biden could possibly win. I really just don't. I really don't. I could, but I'm not going to waste my time or the audience's time going through the rest of the blue dots and estimating how many points I think Biden could get. What I will do, though, however, is look to see if any of these other states have a high number of points allotted to them. Illinois is worth 20. So let's look at Illinois before I end it. All the others are really low. We have 12, 7, 3, 4, 3, 6, 3, 3, 10, 10, like low numbers. So let's look at Illinois while we're there. And then that'll be the end of the video. That's worth 20, like I said. When you click on Illinois, it's almost entirely red. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 little blue spots confirmed for Biden. The rest, 30, at least probably 30 counties, solid red for Trump. And the ones that remain, maybe Biden will get a few of them. But the most I think Biden will get here is less than a quarter. So he'd be getting 4. So if that'd bring Biden up to 145. That's it. 145. I'd love to know where he could get 125 points from. Looking at the little tiny blue dots that are left on this screen. I just don't see how it's possible. But if the numbers are true, they're projections, and it is possible, then mathematically that would prove that somebody must have, or could have at least, let me reword that, somebody could have manipulated the scheme like I just said. if he got 100, if he had to hit the powerhouses and clean up in all those areas I just meticulously went through to get 145, then how in the world, excuse me, then how in the world did Biden get 125 from these obscure little blue dots? That's what I don't understand. But anyways, that's it for the video, folks. God bless everybody. Hopefully Trump wins. And if Biden does win, I hope everybody reaps what they have sown. I hope Biden's even worse of a president. I don't think Trump was a bad president, but in their minds, they think Trump was terrible. So I hope that Biden becomes, in your minds, more terrible than how you perceive Trump to have been. Okay, so that's all I can say. I hope you reap what you sow if Biden gets in there. Hope, not that I hope it, but in a strange way, in a different sense, I hope maybe he does make it a socialist third world country for a couple years at least. Then all the Americans who voted for him would realize, oh, we were pretty stupid. You know what I mean? But hey, take care, folks.